newest Cub, the E-Pace Compact SUV. SpiritJaguar.ie.
Rory McIlroy says he's ahead of schedule after an impressive opening day at the Omega Dubai Desert Classic. The Ulsterman carded 7 birdies in a 7 under par round of 65 to claim a share of second place, 2 shots behind the leader David Horsey. It's McIlroy's second tournament following a 3-month break to overcome a persistent rib injury. The 4-time major champion says his return is going better than planned.
I didn't expect to play as well as I did last week, and it's been nice to continue that into this week. So yeah, I'm ahead of schedule right now, but I don't mind that. That's nice. Just have to reassess everything and go from there.
3 Irish players are still on the course. Paul Dunlop is 4 under par with 3 holes to play. Graham McDowell is 1 under after 11, but Darren Clark is 3 over playing the last. Kyle Edmund's remarkable Australian Open run has come to an end. The unseeded Englishman has lost his first Grand Slam semi-final in straight sets to Marin Cilic. Cilic will be aiming for a first major title since 2014 when he plays either Roger Federer or Hyeon Chung in the decider over the weekend. There were also wins this morning for Caroline Wozniacki and Simona Halep, who will now contest the women's singles final on Saturday. For offtheball.com on Newstalk, I'm Ross Lindsay.
Newstalk weather. Thanks to Des Kelly Interiors, where quality costs less on carpets, wood flooring, beds and mattresses. Surprise yourself at deskelly.ie.
Sunny spells and showers today. Some of the showers will be heavy with the possibility of hail and isolated thunderstorms for a time. Highest temperatures this afternoon, 6 to 8 degrees. And now you're up to date on Newstalk.
Thank you for that, Andrea and Ross. You are listening to Lunchtime Live with Ciara here on Newstalk. Do get in touch with us. We want to hear from you about any of the stuff that we're going to be talking about between now and 2 o'clock, including that possible lifting of the ban on drinking on Good Friday. We're going to be talking about workplace bullying. I don't know if you've experienced it, but apparently the numbers are much higher than you might think. We'll be talking as well about the Dorchester do and what went on there too, the political fallout from all of that. So do get in touch with us. You can give us a call on 1890 453 106 and we'll put you on the air with your own analysis. You can text us at 53106 at a cost of 30 cents, or tweet me at Lunchtime Live NT, or tweet me at Ciara Kelly Doc either, and use the hashtag CiaraNT to join the conversation. Or of course you can still email us if you have something that little bit longer to say at lunchtimelive@newstalk.com, and we would love to hear from you. We really do want you to be part of the show. We want you to tell us what you think about everything. Now, the Oireachtas Committee on Public Petitions is currently examining a call for the eradication of homework for children in the younger end of primary school. The argument is that it provides very little educational benefit, and not only that, the notion is that it causes, for a lot of families, great stress and frustration at home. And to discuss this, I'm joined now by Anya Lynch, who is the CEO of the National Parents Council. Anya, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Are you a proponent of the banning of homework, or do you think that we should continue to give younger kids, a small amount of homework to do of an evening when they go home from school?
I think probably one of the difficulties when we're talking about homework is we're talking about homework as we see it now. So we would be more into reforming homework rather than banning it.
Okay.
So homework hasn't really changed very much since I did homework a long, long time ago. And it often is just a continuation of the work that children have done during the school day, more of. So what generally happens is that children are very good at doing the schoolwork, and therefore it can be quite boring at home, and it can be very hard to motivate children to do more of what they can do, or they could have difficulties at school with the schoolwork, and then that's even exaggerated more when they're on their own at home. So then that again can be very, very stressful for parents and families. So what we would like to see is homework to be looked at again in a different light. And I suppose one of the reasons we'd like to see that is because we know from a huge amount of research that parents' involvement in education is benefiting children's education, and particularly of the younger years. And of that involvement, the area that makes the biggest difference is learning at home. So we would like to see better connections between the learning at school and the learning at home, and that I suppose work in school has to, follow a certain way of working. So children are generally behind a desk. There's generally one teacher to multitudes of children, but there's a lot more variety at home for different learning techniques, and not all children learn with the same style. So that sitting behind a desk and working like that only suits a certain amount of children. Whereas we know when children get home, there's more one-to-one, there's more movement, there's more visual type learning. So you're kind of accommodating a lot of different type of learning learners at home. And I suppose a really simple example of that is if you're in the classroom and you maybe have some mathematics where you're adding 3 apples and 2 apples, that's written on a piece of paper. But in the home, you can actually take 3 apples and 2 apples and add them to. So for the child that's more of a visual learner, that can help them with something simple mathematics.
So are you talking about on your redesigning homework for the home learning environment? I'm summarising what you said there, but is that what you're doing? So you're not talking about doing away with it?
No.
Not talking about the kids not spending, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes or whatever it is that small kids are supposed to spend doing it, but that adapting it to make it a little bit more, I don't know, interactive or interesting at home.
Make it interactive, interesting, applicable. I mean, when you're doing maths in school, it can feel very, what's the purpose of this? Whereas if you're setting a table and you have a knife, a fork and a spoon, then that's a set, and you're also counting how many spaces are at the table. So it's making the homework applicable. So that kind of 20 minutes, 30 minutes becomes irrelevant. It's more, what is it that they're learning? How are they learning? And how are they maybe engaging with their parents around their learning?
So there should nearly be a curriculum for homework sort of idea, is that it?
Well, that's certainly something that we would like to see looked at, and we're currently looking at a bit of research around that area because we feel that the home learning environment is so rich. We need parents to be connecting with their children's learning, and homework gives a really good opportunity for that. But in the current format of learning at home, as you say, it just causes a huge amount of stress in a lot of families.
I have 4 kids, and I've done the homework thing at home with them for many years, and it has always caused stress and difficulty trying to get them to do it, and then I don't know, the interaction, and for someone like me who doesn't have very good Irish or what have you, there's always areas where I'm not much used to them anyway and all that kind of thing. But I do think this is something quite interesting in that when I was a kid, even though my mum would have been at home, we got on with our own homework. My mother did not sit down with me and do my homework, and none of my friends' mothers sat down with them and did the homework either. The homework was on the child, and the child brought it back into school and the teacher corrected it. Now, in an era where we have much more of a situation where both parents are out working, parents are somehow expected to have a role in homework that was never there before. And I'm not quite sure that it's in the child's interest for them to be doing their homework.